Hi there, it's the great and glorious, soon to be famous, hopefully one day, fingers crossed if I win the National Lottery a million times over, famous Nick Dutch. Just a quick video today about, essentially, again, the occult, my pet subject of course, when I try and answer the question, are all occultists and magicians in fact insane? To which I personally would argue no. The word insane or the word madness tends to refer to a separation from reality, by which of course you'd have to have a very stringent idea or understanding as to precisely what is real, bearing in mind the sensory and cognitive limitations of humanity. It is more or less impossible for any single individual to be able to state quite categorically what is mad. We can say what is practical, what is rational, and what is down to earth, yes, but we cannot say what is in fact completely insane. We can say what is safe for society, we can say what is unsafe for society, but we cannot say what is separation from reality, because of course the reality of an astrophysicist is very different to the reality of an astrobiologist, which is very different to the reality of a builder or a social worker, let's say, for instance. All these things are different forms of reality, and so on and so forth ad infinitum. One of the criticisms levied against occultists, New Agers, pagans, people who do supernatural activities, is that they have mad beliefs. Well, let's try and analyze that. Well, let's just try and have a look at that in a slightly greater detail. Firstly, do you actually have to have any beliefs to be an occultist? To which I would have to answer, probably not. Okay, my definition of magic is an attempt to be miraculous. That doesn't necessarily mean to say that the moment you're waving your magic wand in the air, you're going to be able to do all kinds of tremendous things. Alright, it's an attempt, because it's very difficult to break down precisely what causes what effects. When you're evaluating the potential for success or danger in any form of occult activity, you got to look at your experience, the various written theories about the occult activity in particular. You got to have a look at the mythological theories about the occult activity in particular, and then you got to have a look at your skill. And your skill would be in prayer, breath control, meditation, visualization, and any other sensory things that you've gone through in the past in previous workings, which again relates back to the idea of experience. Okay, so that's four main ideas: experience, theory, mythology, and skill. Alright, and skill is broken up into four sections again, which is prayer, breath control, meditation, and visualization. Alright? So don't worry too much, just essentially be analytical about what you're proposing to do and try and find out as much as you can. Alright? And actually, before you actually start any form of magical or occult work, you then stop thinking about all the information you forced into your head, and you just go with the activity itself. When you're both analyzing the results of what you've done, let's say you've done a spell in inverted commas to try and create an event in the outside world, you would have to look at, number one, the theories as to what happened in terms of you performing your activity, and the theories of that affecting the outcome. You've got to look at the various practices that you have used. You've got to have a look at the psychological exercises or the psychological twists and contortions which might possibly have caused the results. And you've also got to look at any beliefs which you held before, during, and after the activity that you were performing, to see whether that's going to have an effect on the end result as well. Again, when you're going through this practice, you're not guaranteeing everything. Phil Hine once said that magic is the, again, art and science of changing your achievable or pushing back the frontiers of achievable reality, trying to work out what you can do more and more and more with practice and with time. It's not a guarantee of results. Okay, I'm not Harry Potter. I don't believe that if I say Ecto Petronius, a stag is going to go and mow down one of my enemies. Okay, it doesn't happen like that. Alright, it's all very experiential. And you can muck about, you can have weird experiences. It doesn't mean to say that you are in fact mad. Do I share any of the beliefs of other occultists? Well, basically no. because a lot of the occult literature which is out there is predominantly based upon the ideas of people who are trying to market a concept. One of the very first occult books that I bought was by an authoress called, I think it was Shelley von Strugnell. Wonderful, 250 odd page book it was, and there was no real content there. There was just a lot of beliefs, and suggesting that the readers should actually have more and more beliefs about the supernatural when they're preparing to go and buy any supernatural service, such as a tarot reading or a clairvoyant reading. It was great PR for people like me who do tarot for a living, but on the other hand, it was not useful or usable information for anyone who's trying to study to try and develop some occult skill. Do remember that when I personally got involved with magic, I was trying to find a treatment for a disease that I was born with that natural science could not at that time cure. Alright? As it turned out, the natural science has since advanced, and now my health is a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. So I'm moving in the right direction through normal means. Do I feel that with my limited abilities I could have cured myself? No. Do I now know that some of the skills which I've developed through meditation, prayer and breath control have and can help at times with, let's say, energy levels, certain aspects of immunity? The short answer would be yes. Alright? But that's only to a certain degree, because when you're doing anything, even if it's just a meditation so you can calm yourself down, improve your circulation, you've got to know which variety of meditation, how deep you've got to go, what other tools you want to use to help yourself get into that state, and to what quantity of effect it will have. You can only realistically assess this as a result of experience. And you can only get that experience through mucking about. Yes, you can use religious ideas, you can use anything from magical, occult or religious theory to help, but these are essentially all theories. Alright, the activity of someone who's experimenting with and practicing the occult is purely down to building up a reservoir of experiences which you can then take from. Naturally, one of the biggest intellectual and psychological dangers is to develop beliefs too quickly. For instance, I can very easily, as a result of doing lots of meditation, lots of prayer, come to the conclusion that there are spirits everywhere, there are demons everywhere, that there are spirit guides everywhere, they're watching over me all the time, there's a perpetual war between good and evil happening, all this sort of thing, and my brain is somehow interconnected to everyone else's brain, and all these things are happening simultaneously, which is a great thing to think and believe when you're doing lots of occult exercises, because if you do have some belief, as well as the willpower, the meditation, the energy to bring it forward, then it's going to more likely have some variety of effects. And if you've got total disbelief and skepticism against your own ability, then you're going to find it a little difficult, even if it is just to relax. I mean, if you don't believe that you can just sit down, relax and watch TV because you've got some kind of like massive work ethic thing going on inside yourself, or that you're like a workaholic, you're going to find it impossible just to sit down and watch TV at the end of the day. Think about that, alright? So, again, I'll say this one more time, when I'm going about my day-to-day chores, I'm not in that kind of like psychological, magical space. I've disbelieved it all, I've thrown it all away, it's irrelevant to me. But when I'm doing all that stuff, yeah, I choose to believe during those times, when I'm doing magical work, that this stuff is real. Because that's the only way to actually get any variety of results. And the best variety of result is normally just exchange experience. It's not actually sort of making your desk diary levitate and then come over to you when you need it. Alright? Alright, well, have fun with your magic. Speak to you again soon. Bye.